Hi, my name is Deb Agarwal. I am a cinematographer. I have graduated from Ftii Pune in cinematography. My early influence in cinematography started when I was very young because my parents were very fond of films. So every month we used to go out for a couple of films, and that's how I started uh, going to theaters and understanding and living the magic of cinema, and that's how it influenced me from a very early age. So when I was growing up, I decided that this is something which interests me, and I want to go behind the screen and see how those things are created. So that's how my journey started with movies. In school, when I was in class 11, when I started photography, I was so fascinated by the medium that I decided that whatever I will do will be something related to that. So I decided that it's very essential for me that to pursue something which is related to this rather than doing something else which I will not like to do it in near future. So after completing my 1 year program in photography, I decided to join St. Xavier's College in Calcutta, where I studied mass communication and film studies for 3 years, and I was introduced to world cinema, cinematography, editing, everything about filmmaking. It was like a mini film school, and it opened a new world in front of me. And also during the time, I was introduced to film clubs. There were a lot of film clubs in Calcutta, like Cine Central and all that. And I became a regular member and went to see a lot of great masters in Calcutta theaters. And there was a cinema hall called London in Calcutta. It's still there, and they used to show some great masterpieces of Antonioni, Fellini, and all these people. So I got introduced to these great masters, and my fascination to cinema continued. And also, I started to understand the profoundness of this medium. After St. Xavier's, I went to FTII. I was lucky to get selected and studied cinematography in Film and Television Institute of India. There, I actually understood what cinematography is and how movies are made, and that's how my training was complete. And after passing out from FTI, I was very confident because spending 7 years just studying cinema was was incredible, and also it gave me a very good understanding of every aspect of filmmaking. While I was in second year in FTII, I started assisting an eminent cinematographer called Sanjay Agarwal. He was based in Delhi. He used to work with National Geographic, Discovery, and I started to shoot with him Discovery projects and corporate films. First assist him, then also started doing second unit work for him. And he was a great teacher. And I basically learned so much about life, spending so much time with him. It was an incredible experience. And then also, Barun Mukherjee came for one of the workshops in FTII, and I instantly liked him, the way he approached cinematography. So when I came to Bombay during my free time from FTII, I requested him to take me as an intern. So he obliged, and I assisted him for a few months in ads and films. So it was a great learning experience from a great master. I think assisting is important because you learn to handle people. I think in filmmaking, the most important thing is how you manage people. And being a cinematographer, you have to manage a large team of people. So it's very important to assist for some time, but it also have its own problems, because like when I was assisting Barunda, I was very influenced by his style. So when I came back from assisting him, I tried to emulate him, but I felt that that is not something which actually my way of expressing in terms of lighting, in terms of composition. So it never worked for me. So that I quickly realized. So assisting have both its pluses and its minuses also. But assisting is important because once you start assisting, you learn about how the industry functions, how the setup function, how to deal with people, All these things are very, very important apart from the creative aspects of things. And most importantly, it also teaches you how to handle pressure, because when you're shooting, there is a lot of pressure on the shoulders of cinematographer. So you see all these things, and when you go and make your first independent film, it helps you. So I think it is important, but I will not think it's compulsory. It depends on individual to individual. After passing out from FTII, I did a project with Discovery. I shot Southeast Asia for them, and then I did a lot of corporate film, a lot of multinational companies. So one of my friend in Africa showed my work to a director called Lancelot Odua, and he liked my work a lot. And we spoke on phone. Then he invited me to shoot his epic called Invasion 1897. It was about the last king of Africa. So I think it was fairly easy for me because I didn't connect to him. He just saw my work and he liked it, and he invited me to come to Africa to shoot my first film. So it was quite a wonderful experience doing that film. And since it was new culture, new way of filmmaking, different kind of people, so it was more of an adventure and a creative um, exploration as a cinematographer. The most important thing in the script is story itself, that when you listen to the story, how much it resonates in you. So that is the most important factor for me choosing a film. It doesn't matter if it is a visual film or a non-visual film. The story has to be good. That is my prime concern. But most of the time, people who are starting off, they don't have that much option to choose. So for me, whatever comes my way, uh, I think whatever the best stories I have, I try to choose and shoot them. So that's what I can do. But in future, if I get an opportunity, I really like to pick stories which are really, really good and worth telling. I seek inspiration from eminent cinematographers whose work I like, photographers, especially National Geographic photographers, filmmakers, and all these creative people. When I look at their work, I wonder how much creative and what kind of imagination they have. I wish I can go in the same direction. My biggest influence always have been Vittorio Storaro. I admire him and his work, his way of thinking. Whenever in life, when things does not going the way it should be, I look at these great masters like Vittorio Storaro, Roger Deakins, Janusz Kaminski, Henri Cartier-Bresson, Mike Yamashita, all these great masters, look at their work, look at their life, and try to motivate myself to do better work. And also look deeply into my art and find an artist within me. So this gives me a lot of inspiration. Uh, right now, I am doing a film called tentatively titled 50/50, which is going to start in March. It is being directed by Ashwini Chaudhary, and that is what I'm doing right now. And also, I'm doing a documentary which I'm directing myself on history of Buddhist art, which I've shot quite a bit. And so, probably by end of this year, I will like to finish that film. My dream project. I think for me, dream project is not something dictated by the money or the grandness of the film. I think for me, the dream project is that a film, the story which I connect to, and also have the resources, time, and creative freedom to do it. It might be a documentary, it might be a short film, it might be an ad. I think when you have the freedom to express yourself, that project is your dream project. And I hope I will get to that soon. For me, I think my favorite film will be City Lights because it was my first film here in India, and also it was shot with raw energy, with candidness, and also the bleakness, of the characters were beautifully. I tried to emulate the sadness and the darkness of their life through the cinematography. So during that time when I was filming City Lights, it was pure intuitiveness and just going with the characters and trying to understand the ambience and the milieu. So City Lights has been my favorite film as of now, and I think it's shot with grittiness, rawness, intuitiveness, candidness, and also try to address issues which are very predominant in our society, and also not shying away to show reality as it is, which was a very bold decision taken by the filmmaker and myself. So it was a wonderful shooting experience. I also consider myself as an aspiring cinematographer because there is so much to learn. There will always be greater and lesser men than you because there have been artists who are superior than you. So there is always to look forward to. Okay. For me, I think the advice will be read about cinema, watch a lot of films, spend a lot of time just understanding one film rather than watching 10 films. Just focus on one film and try to break it down, try to understand from every possible way. And cinematography does not mean that you only have to understand the technology behind the camera. It's also about the aesthetics, it's also about the story and editing, everything related to filmmaking. Then it will enhance your cinematography. So as a cinematographer, you have to be an all-rounder. Then only it will work for you. So right now I have a week off, so I have decided to focus on Wong Kar Wai. So Wong Kar Wai has come up with a new book with a set of interviews which I really loved. So I am watching all his 11 films and trying to understand the artist behind Wong Kar Wai and learn from him. So I think next 2 weeks I will dedicate to Wong Kar Wai and learn from him. So this is what I'm doing right now.